Productivity is very, very important for a remote sales rep, especially when you are at home and you are not very good at staying productive and you're wondering what to do because maybe you're a closer that takes inbound calls booked into your calendar, and sometimes the calendar is full, so it's easy to stay busy. It's easy to keep the work flowing. And sometimes the calendar is not so full and you're kind of wondering what it is you should be doing and what your schedule should look like. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And make sure that you closers out there can stay super, super productive, because when you're productive, you avoid the slow days. That's what it's all about. There's ebbs and flows in sales. Some days leads are flowing, calendar's full, everything's booked up. And then some days it dies off and it slows down. And if you don't prepare on the good days for those slow times, you will struggle to weather the storm and you will see peaks and valleys in your commission. And that is not fun. Everyone wants inconsistent pay if it's inconsistently good, not inconsistently good and bad, right? So jumping right into productivity, every single closer, what you should do is set up an 8-hour block, a full day, just like any other job working at 9 to 5. Set up an 8-hour block and make sure that you're always within that time frame. Take your 1 hour break, take your 30-minute break, whatever, work and rest. Give yourself enough time to recharge, but within the block, whatever that block looks like that you are working, you should always not get distracted, because you should be focusing on one of two things. And I mentioned in the last video, I'm going to mention it again here. It is you are either making offers or you are putting yourself in the position to make more offers. That's it. That's all you need to do as a sales rep. Ask yourself in this moment, am I within my work block? Yes. Am I currently speaking to someone, presenting them the product or service, making them an offer? No. What am I doing to get more people in front of me, to get more people on my calendar so that I can make more offers? You go and you find and you do that. And that's it. Your pipeline will stay full. Commission will stay flowing. Bank account will stay fat. Everything will be good if you're always only doing one of those two things. It could be follow-up, pipeline management. It could be asking for referrals. There's so many things you can do to generate calls. You should be doing that if you're not on calls. Simple. Now, in order to be productive with this, you also want to make sure you schedule your life. So many closers, so many sales reps, and I get it, because other industries, you don't really have to do this as much, but in this industry, you must schedule your life and live by your calendar. If you don't have a calendar that schedules out and puts on everything that you need to be doing, whether it's admin, follow-up, pipeline generation, whatever it is, the times you actually take calls, if you're not setting actual blocks on like your Google Calendar for this, you will miss things. Trying to store everything you need to do in your head is terrible. I hate it. Maybe you're good at it, but I hate having all this junk in my head and having to remember everything. It's terrible. But if you could do it, do it. I can't do it. Most people can't do it. I've coached like 1,000+ people at this point, and every single person I've spoken to that either missed meetings or didn't do certain work or forgot this or forgot that, or like, oh, that slipped by, or, oh, I know I should have did that. Oh, I missed it. I always ask them, show me your calendar. I look at their calendar. It's non-existent. They're like, calendar? I don't have one. I just kind of go by the email reminders in my Gmail. Terrible idea. They either don't have a calendar or their calendar it's not being used properly, which means it doesn't actually have everything on it. They might just have a couple big things here or there. On your calendar, for example, my calendar, it has when I wake up, when I go to bed, when I have lunch, when I work, what type of work I'm doing that day. I don't like to keep anything in my head. I just dump it all onto the calendar, and I'm constantly changing it to fit whatever rhythm of life I'm in at the moment. When I was focusing more on my fitness and losing weight, the calendar was shaped around that. When I was focusing more on growing my business, the calendar was shaped more around that. When I was doing more one-on-one coaching calls, my calendar was shaped more around that. Whatever, like I've changed it, and I don't live by it perfectly. But whenever I get distracted, let's say I pick up my phone and I'm scrolling Instagram Reels for 5 minutes, I go, whoa, wait a minute. I am not being productive right now. And then there's a million things to do. And I could sit there for 10 minutes being like, oh, what should I work on? What should I work on? Instead of that, all I do is pull up my calendar, see what it says that I'm supposed to be doing, and then I go do that. And then I don't have to think about it. I don't have to hold it in my head. I can just recalibrate myself super quick because what I need to be doing is always right there on my calendar. I can pull it up, I can look at it, then I can just go and do it. A lot easier. Try it out. Another thing you want to do is have a dedicated space for where you're taking your calls. Have a dedicated space for where you do your work. If you don't have a dedicated space, it can kind of get really messy. I like to do my work in lots of different places. Sometimes I like to work from the couch. I like to go to a coffee shop. I like to go different places, but certain things like recording videos, certain things like taking sales calls, certain work, I like to just come to my office, close the door, grind it out. And then when I leave, that way I know when I'm in here, it's work mode and it's just easier to switch on and switch off, because the last point, which goes with this, is you want to work hard, but also rest hard. Know when to shut off. When I was in sales, it gets so easy to like be responding to people all day, every day. It gets really easy to be messaging clients. You know, let's say you work from like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., 11 to 7, but then it's like 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And like, yeah, it's just because it's remote. It's on my phone. There's emails. So I might be watching a movie with my wife and then I'm just like responding to an email. Don't do that. Shut off. If you don't shut off, you're never going to fully recover. If you don't fully recover, you can't put 100% from when you're on. Be on for 8 hours, then shut off. Be on for 10 hours and shut off. Whatever the time is, 10, 12, 13, whatever your time is that you found works for you. When you're resting, whether you need 1 hour of rest a day, whether you need 5 hours of rest a day, shut off completely. Don't even look at it. It's not worth it at the end of the day. If you don't rest hard, you can't play hard. You can't work hard. If you do all these things, you'll be a lot more productive.